Well, the terror attack at London Bridge and Borough Market, just up the road from where I am here now, was the third here in the UK in as many months. Authorities say many others have been foiled. For more on fighting terrorism, then, I'm joined by Karin von Hippel, who is Director General of the Royal United Service Institute, a defence and security think tank. 2005, the attacks of 7/7, clearly a scar for Londoners, and then a city that was relatively terror-free, particularly when we've seen the sort of attacks that we've seen across Europe and North America until, of course, the last 3 months. Why now?
Well, it's interesting because the UK does have some of the best security services in the world. At the same time, however, since ISIL appeared really in early 2013, they have always planned these attacks in out-of-area places. In the last 2.5 years, there have been over 400 civilians killed in the attacks in Europe and North America. So it's all part of the same pattern, really. It's new to the UK, this particular threat, but it's not new to Europe. Yeah,
we know that, and that is what is very sad. And it seems there is a squeeze on what was this self-declared caliphate in Syria and Iraq, so these attacks more prevalent elsewhere. But this is not just about exporting or those jihadists who might have left here, France or Belgium, and come home. This is about people who are inspired at home.
Exactly. It's a mix of the two. It's a mix of ISIL-directed attacks and ISIL-inspired attacks, and that's what makes it so lethal. You can't just stop kids from returning. You've also got to stop kids from doing things here in the UK, whether it's in their schools or getting radicalized or with their friends. So it makes a challenge much more difficult.
Karen, we've been talking about this, haven't we? It seems day in, day out now for, what, say 2.5 years, let's put it that way, since the rise of the scourge that is ISIS in 2013-14, as you rightly pointed out. And it is now that the Prime Minister here, Theresa May, says we are going to need a new counter-terror strategy. Enough is enough. But quite frankly, what is that new strategy?
Yeah, I'm not sure she's talking about an entirely new strategy, but rather re-examining the current strategy.
Top to bottom.
Yeah, it could be, but it could be reinforcing aspects. I think the weakest link in the strategy is the prevent side, and it's not because the work they're doing in this country is not good. I think it's just really difficult to do prevent. It's really difficult to do counter-radicalization work wherever it is in the world.
So many people in the Muslim community will agree with you on that. They will say prevent just doesn't work. They are looking for a program that will work. You know, the vast majority of Muslims who live in this country and elsewhere have as much horror about what happened here as the rest of us do. The government knows that there is a lot of objection to prevent, but at this point they don't seem willing to do much about it.
I'm not sure about that. I mean, there have been some successes with prevent too. I just think it's really tough to get in someone's mind, and you don't know if it's mostly he, but if someone's espousing some sort of radical sentiment, it may be 5 years till something happens, and so there just aren't enough security services and teachers and doctors and lawyers to watch everybody. And so there really does need to be a more profound conversation between Muslim communities in this country as well as with the security services.
The biggest problem is this, isn't it? To prevent a divisive society, a society divided, and to prevent a society that has got police walking the streets on every street corner. I mean, they're here today. They are supporting and defending us. This is a cordoned off area. But nobody wants a police state.
Right. Nobody wants a police state, and I think this country has been very good about doing it in a more subtle way. But yes, I mean, I think the conversation needs to be adapted. I think some people are uncomfortable talking about religion, and so maybe the conversations aren't going as deep as they should. And so I think there needs to be more of a safe space to have these conversations.
So the answer to these questions is we don't have any answers at the moment,
I think we're not there yet. I think we're still learning about what radicalizes people. We know in some cases, but we don't know in many cases. And what radicalizes a kid from Birmingham is not the same as a kid from Chechnya. ISIL has been able to attract 30,000 to 40,000 foreigners to its cause out in Iraq and Syria, and many, many more thousands all over the world. And so it's just different motivations, really, in different places, and we can't look at it through one lens.
That we're going to leave it there. We thank you very much indeed.